I'm Poonam Chawla Sood from Ayodhya, Uttar Pradesh, India. I'm a bilingual writer. I write in Hindi as well as in English. I have published 2 poetry collections in Hindi. One is Misfit Kavitaएं and Jama Khata. And one poetry collection in English, that is Torn. Torn has been awarded, has been recognized internationally by Writers Capital Foundation, and yesterday we got the news, and I feel privileged to receive the Panorama Golden Book Award. And I am also founder chairperson of Gulzar Sahitya Samiti, which was established in 1998 here in Ayodhya. So I have done a couple of translations. I've translated a few books, and today I feel privileged to recite few of my poems on the esteemed platform of the Fertile Brains, for which I'm thankful to my dear poet, brother Prasanna Kumar, who besides being a wonderful poet is an amazing human being. So here I start off. As I told you, I'm from Ayodhya, the birthplace of Lord Rama. And apart from being a religious place, Ayodhya has a rich heritage and culture. So as we proceed, I'll be sharing a few inputs, and I hope you will enjoy this session with me. And I feel responsible, to take full half an hour session with you all. So let's begin with a very common question. Few of my friends, most of them are poets here, and they often ask a question like, are people born poets, or do they acquire the skill? So we are often encountered with such questions, but I feel that poetry is not an acquired skill. We can learn to paint, we can learn to play an instrument, but it is very difficult to learn to write. Sensitivity is a major factor. I think it's a key to writing good poetry, but with sensitivity, you need to have a good knowledge of words and expression, because any art, you have to be a sensitive person for any art, but then you need to balance, your words and your sensitivity. They would go hand in hand to write a poem. And as I would like to, in my school days, I was very much, we had a history session, and we were told about mummies, the Egyptian mummies. So I was very much fascinated, by what how they preserved them, and after so many years, one day I was just watching the news, and I saw that 22 royal mummies were being paraded in the city of Cairo. So I felt very disturbed and distressed. What must these mummies have felt while being paraded through the city? Because they leave the heart inside the mummy, and heart is always full of emotions. And so here I would like to read a poem from my collection, Torn, and it is about the Egyptian mummies. The Egyptian mummies fantasized me ever since I was a student. Their ancient embalming science, their mummification process, and afterlife ideologies amazed me to no end. The brain of the mummy and other internal organs were removed and preserved in special jars. Rest of the body was dried with natural salt, treated with resins, oils, and wrapped tight, leaving the heart inside to keep the conscious alive. Few years ago, 22 royal mummies were paraded to the city of Cairo to be rested at a national museum. I support culture and art, but feel strongly about parading and exhibiting the mummies, especially in an era where the brain surpasses the consciousness and emotions of the heart, where the brain surpasses the consciousness and emotions of the heart. So this is what I felt like. It was a very strange feeling, like when we leave the heart inside. I mean, the Egyptians, they leave the heart inside the body just to keep the conscious alive. So, and when they parade it through, what the conscious must have felt. So that was something very sensitive which I felt, and with that, I will tell you about this poetry collection. Like this has this poetry. The name is Torn, a patchwork of moonlit emotions. I have named it Moonlit Emotions because I have it has uh, 9 segments, 8 segments of the moon, 8 phases of the moon, like the new moon, the waxing, crescent moon, and the 8 sections, and one is the lunar eclipse. So the entire collection is divided into 9 segments. And according to, these lunar phases, they have impact on our mood, on our heart, and on every thing on the planet. Our mood elevates, with the full moon, and there are so many things which science and nature have bestowed on us. So I will go, the second poem which I'm going to read today is about the topic, the torn. This torn, the poem Torn, I have kept it under the first quarter of the moon because it is a primary moon phase when the moon's half phase is lit up and the moon rises around noon and sets around midnight. So this is a balance of light and shadow. So this is a phase where obstacles tend to rise and they tend to rise ahead and their decisions need to be made. So it's not it's time to move ahead, not hesitate. So here in this segment, I have this poem Dawn, which goes like this. Have you ever worn torn shoes to an eminent institution? A torn dress to an elite party? Have malfunctioned on the ramps of society? Or have been stripped physically, emotionally, psychologically in public, molested, sexually assaulted, raped, being socially discarded or discriminated, have ever been blamed or shamed? If your answer is no, If your answer is no, you can never ever evaluate the intensity of an abstract, dark, torn, monochromatic canvas exhibited amongst the most harmonious paintings at the World Art Gallery. If your answer is no, I repeat, if your answer is no, you can never ever evaluate the intensity of an abstract, dark, torn, monochromatic canvas exhibited amongst the most harmonious paintings at the World Art Gallery. This is again a sensitive poem which I saw a dark canvas which was left when I'd gone to watch and witness an exhibition. I saw a dark canvas which was hidden behind the curtain. That made me write this poem. And there are so many things in life, like when we all admire beauty, we all admire things that are beautiful, nature and everything. But I always feel that beauty is just skin deep, and ultimately, your nature, your circumstances, they are the ones which make you beautiful. They are the ones which make you acceptable in the society. I belong to Ayodhya, and as I mentioned, the city of birthplace of Lord Rama. And I, Ramayana, those who have read Ramayana must be knowing about Shubnakha. She was, her ears and nose was, she was mutilated by Lakshman. So I always, this character in the Ramayana, I always had deep sympathy for her, although she was not, Ramayana doesn't glorify her, but I always had a deep sympathy, and this poem I dedicated to her. The name is The Mutilated Princess. Is poetry meant only for beauty? Is poetry meant only for beauty, the way history glorifies the victor and his victory? Can anyone empathize with the pain of a plain, unattractive girl who is robbed by her pretty name and renamed Shubnakha because she had fingernails like winnowing fans? She grew up with brothers bold, strong, and wise, and was expected to be obedient, shy, and docile. She married Vidutwa against her brother Ravan's choice, who later killed her spouse for reasons unknown, leaving her heartbroken, lonely, and torn. She combed the forest in search of love, where she was enticed by charming Prince Rama. Like Rama, Lakshman too could have declined her proposal respectfully, without mockery and cruelty. Had this been done, why would she have attacked Sita and gone through the pain, mutilation, and shame? Why has it always been difficult for men to handle bold and sexually assertive women? Why has it always been difficult for men to handle bold and sexually assertive women? Till date, when women speak up, set boundaries, secure the right to reject or choose a man of their choice, they are humiliated, acid attacked, or raped. This is a very serious situation, I feel, which we encounter these days. Though there have been many movies are being made on such social crimes like being acid attacked and child abuse. So many movies and so many literature has been done. But still, you know, there are incidents which are still going on, though there has been a decline in the rate of acid attack, but there are many people, many. Recently, I had been to a restaurant which was, you know, the entire, it was the owner and all the staff was the acid victims, acid attack victims, you know. So I really felt very pained, and it was very disheartening, you know, to see them, because just there was nothing, you know, they did not have, no, without any fault of theirs, they had to bear this, and for lifelong. That was very painful. So now I would come to my Hindi poems, and this was my first collection from Misfit Kavitaएं, and here I would read the poem which is titled Misfit. बचपन में मेरे नाना ने मेले से दिलवाई थी एक लाल रंग प्लास्टिक की साबुनदानी, रख उसमें देसी साबुन, रोज सुबह ठाठ से नहाता था घाट। उम्र बदली, साबुन बदला, गुसल खाने से बाथरूम का दौर बदला, नहीं बदली तो वो लाल रंग की साबुनदानी। आज भी महंगे शावर रूम में मैं उस साबुनदानी को साथ लेकर जाता हूँ। वहां रखे तमाम ब्रांड के शावर जेल से उसका तालमेल बिठाना चाहता हूँ, पर वह साबुनदानी मेरी पुरानी स्थिर सोच की तरह किसी से जेल नहीं हो पाती। हर जगह मिसफिट वो लाल रंग की साबुनदानी एक अकेले टापू की तरह दूर अलग एक कोने में रह जाती है, जैसे आजकल की सोशल गैदरिंग में मैं। This was when I wrote. I had gone to a social party, and you realize that how the society is changing. There is so much of exposure, artificiality, so much of show off, that you feel uncomfortable and you want to return back to your own self, especially people who are in my age or like me. I won't term the age is not the right word here, but those people who don't like to show, who want to be themselves, they feel uncomfortable. So this was one of the poems here. And as I told you that you were talking about, Prasanna and myself were talking about, like, that Ayodhya, my town. Like, I came here, I was married here, and when I came, there was so much of greenery, fresh air. So what I felt was that now this has become a hot tourist spot, and people are coming in lakhs every day to worship, and there is so much of, though the town is, we call it developed, and इसको कहते हैं विकास, विकास हो रहा है, तो विकास के साथ, like, there is so much we miss those greeneries and those even the villages, they are becoming more of kind of cities. So this poem was like शहर से दूर. This was written long time back, and शहर से दूर जो एक गांव था, ये इसी की याद में कि शहर में आके कितना पर्सन जो है वो कितना रैट रेस में, भाग दौड़ में दब जाता है. शहर से दूर छोटी पहाड़ी गांव के कच्चे रास्ते पर लड़खड़ाती बैलगाड़ी के दो डगमगाते पहियों के बीच. शहर से दूर छोटी पहाड़ी गांव के कच्चे रास्ते पर लड़खड़ाती बैलगाड़ी के दो डगमगाते पहियों के बीच तमाम भयानक अंधेरी आज उससे जिंदगी के वो सब नजारे देखेंगे जो शहर की चकाचौंध में गुम हो गए, और वो वादी जहां दूर चरवाहों की बस्ती से आती बांसुरी की आवाज गूढ़ी होती शाम को सुरमई बनाती, जहां 6-7 गांववासी उदासी का कंबल ओढ़े कांगड़ी की बची कुची आंच से जिंदगी सहलाते हैं. इस आंच की रोशनी में आज उन चमकते चेहरों का सुकून देखेंगे. इस आंच की रोशनी में आज उन चमकते चेहरों का सुकून देखेंगे जो शहर में रहने वालों के चेहरों से गुम हो गए, जो शहर में रहने वालों के चेहरों से गुम हो गए. तो इन कविताओं में कुछ शहरी परिवेश के जो हैं, ग्रे एरियाज, जो कीमत शहर में रहने वालों को चुकानी पड़ती है, उसका भी इसमें हमने जिक्र किया है. और एक कविता इसमें से जमा खाता में से पढ़ेंगे, और उसके बाद अपनी बात को हम समय के अनुसार देखते हैं जैसे होगा. तो इस कविता का शीर्षक है पैबंद. पटकने ना देती थी माँ मुझे कोठी के पास, पटकने ना देती थी माँ मुझे कोठी के पास, जहां मांजती थी वह झूठे बर्तन. स्वयं भी पीछे रास्ते से आती जाती. मखमल में टाट का पैबंद है हम, मखमल में टाट का पैबंद है हम, मुझे कई बार बताकर समझाती. अपने टाट होने का था नहीं मुझे कोई गम, अपने टाट होने का था न मुझे गम, पर मखमली शोभा भी थी पसंद. बच्चे की जन्मदिन पार्टी थी कोठी में, आमंत्रित बच्चों को बांटे गए महंगे टिफिन. एक टिफिन माँ को भी मेरे लिए दिया, जिसे पाकर खिल उठा मेरा मन. वह टिफिन मुझे इतना भाया, वह टिफिन मुझे इतना भाया, सिरहाने रख रात में उसे संग सुलाया. सुबह रखने को कुछ ना था टिफिन में, फिर भी दिखावे खातिर उसने भूख पैक कर उसे पाठशाला लाया। कुछ सहपाठियों ने लालची नजरों से देखा टिफिन, कुछ ने ईर्ष्या से। कुछ सहपाठियों ने लालची नजर से देखा टिफिन, कुछ ने ईर्ष्या से, कुछ ने जलनवश मास्टर को बताया, महंगा नया टिफिन देख। मास्टर जी ने मुझे जोर का थप्पड़ लगाया, कान उमेट कर जबरन कबूल करवाया कि महंगा टिफिन मैंने कहीं से है चुराया। टिफिन पाठशाला में हो गया जमा। घर आ बिलखते हुए मैंने माँ को हाल सुनाया। हिचकियों को बांधते पूछा माँ से, कहाँ का है ये न्याय? गरीब टाट बेचारा घिस के बेशक उधर जाए, पर मखमल का छोटा सा पैबंद बदरंग टाट पर ना लगा पाए। पर मखमल का छोटा सा पैबंद बंद टाट पर, बदरंग टाट पर ना लगा पाए। इसी के साथ हमारे ख्याल से समय हो गया है। आपका हमने आधा घंटा कहा था और उम्मीद करते हैं कि आपको हिंदी की कविताएं अच्छी लगी होंगी। And the viewers who are watching in English would have enjoyed listening to the English poems. So I hereby thank Mr. Prasanna Kumar and the team of the Fertile Brains for having me here on this esteemed platform. And I thank all the viewers who have spared their time to listen to me. Thank you so much. Thank you.